Good morning, traders. I'm Joel Elconin, and welcome to Pre-Market Info. I'm flying solo here today as my partner Dennis has that nasty flu bug that's going around the country here. So, Dennis, we hope you a speedy recovery. Getting right into the markets here, let's take a look at the S&Ps. Currently trading at 1542.50, down just only a couple bucks on the day. A couple key levels to keep an eye on in the S&P this morning. We are trading below the close, which was 1544.50. And then the only other number you have on the upside is the recent high of the move at 1547.75. On the downside, minor support at 1535, and then major support. Bull market will keep on going as long as we maintain 1532.25 to 1532.50, which represent Wednesdays and Thursdays lows. We're going to cover a few of the stocks here in the Big Ten, and of course the biggest of the Big Ten, Apple Computer. This stock continues to labor under the $440 level. A couple levels to keep an eye on in the S&P, in Apple. We do have a triple top. We had three highs last week between 435.19 and then 435.43. So you see these three tops here. Apple was the subject of a downgrade this morning, trading lower in the pre-market. So 435 is the bogey on the upside. Look at the pre-market low of 427, something to keep an eye on. But more importantly, with this Apple, if you're trying to pick a bottom here, the huge number, of course, on the downside is last Monday's low at 419. So have to let it go after that level. Moving on to another stock in the Big Ten that has a interesting chart formation here. It's not a big mover, but General Electric here, 3 days in a row, lows at 23.67 on Wednesday and Thursday, 23.68 on Friday. Closed a little bit above that level. Touched it in the pre-market, but GE is good to go up towards the $24 level as long as we hold that triple bottom formation. One of the oil stocks I'd like to mention in the Big Ten, CVX, Chevron Corporation. Much different than ExxonMobil. This stock has busted out to make a new all-time high last week at 119.11, which is the good news. The bad news is that it can't necessarily be bad news, but it's had three closes right in the 118.50 area. 118.47 to 118.57 encompasses the last three closes. So that's a real big swing area. If that doesn't hold 118.50 on the hop, I expect it to easily trade down to the 118 level. And now that you've made a high at 119.11, all-time high, I'm sure some sellers will be putting some more offers in at that 119 level in fear that the new all-time high will be the all-time high for a while. Little news on IBM this morning. The news that I'm seeing is they won a new contract to design a smart city in Montpellier, France. Apparently, that's going to be the first smart city in all of France. It's not doing much to the stock price here. Trading down a little bit in the pre-market, made a pre-market low, got a spike down to the 209.65 level, a little bit lower than that, 209, starting to rebound a little bit. What you have to keep an eye on here with IBM as it approaches its all-time high at 211.79 is you had a 210.74 high on Friday. And then going back to the middle of October of last year, and it's made its attempt at the all-time high, it got up to 211. So IBM starting to run into some major resistance here at the 210.74 to 211 level. We can just talk briefly about J&J here. This stock continues to march and march. Closed 3 cents off its all-time high at 78, closed at 78.19. The all-time high is 78.22. Really hasn't got much away from that level in the pre-market. So keep an eye on 78.22 if you're trying to sell the all-time high in Johnson & Johnson. Two other stocks in the Big Ten, and then we can move on to some other issues here. AT&T has just continued its rise here. We did make a high at 36.74 on Friday. A couple other highs in that area too, 36.70 and 36.82. So just looking at just this whole $37 area is starting to be some major resistance in T, coming back on the downside. You are trading at Friday's low, which was 36.54. So if you can't get a quick pop off the Friday's low at 36.54, you could travel back down to 36.15, which was our low on Thursday. And then the last stock in the Big Ten that I want to talk about kind of had an interesting day on Friday. You can see you had three consecutive lows here right in the 829 area. Boy, it went through that, and I thought this thing was going right back to 800. Only got to 825.05, but rebounded to close at 831.52. What you have to really keep an eye on here is three closes in this stock between 831.38 and 832.60. We are trading above that in the pre-market. I looked at to be a real good swing area. So good to go north in Google as long as we can hold this 831.50 level. Moving on to some new stocks, and of course on a Monday morning you got to always be aware of what Barron's is up to, and if you went home short Genworth Financial, you're probably not real happy with the with one of their lead articles talking about how this stock has actually potential to double. Looking at the pre-market activity here, you've had a spike up to the $10.80 level, and it's really not pulling back from there. So $10.80 up to $11 we'll keep an eye on in Genworth Financial. A lot of times on these Barron stocks, you either get it open and some immediate follow through on the upside, or sometimes it's just a great opportunity to fade. Going out on the monthly charts, this stock hasn't traded near $11 since June of 2011. It traded up to $11.12. So if you've been holding that stock for the last year and a half and you were looking to get out at the $11 level, this may be your opportunity in Genworth Financial. Another stock getting a favorable plug in Barron's, and I got the symbol right, Dennis, if you're listening. I didn't put BBY up there. Bed Bath & Beyond, talking how this could be Buffett bait. So you're getting a lot of B's in here with Buffett and BBBY, saying this stock could potentially fetch $85. That news is giving it a boost in the pre-market, trading at $59.97. We'll take a look at the pre-market chart here as it comes up kind of slowly. $60 should be a level to keep an eye on that. Really just only this one spotty trade up here at $59.97. So let's go back to the daily chart and look at the high that you had here at $60.10, and that was on February 8th, and another high at $60.32. So you got a couple levels to keep in mind. Here, 60 is a nice round number. Of course, you know, if you're thinking that the stock's worth $85, I don't think you'll be really sticking your neck out here on the short side at $60. Another stock in the news, not real big news. We really don't talk about it much. Ford Motor Company continues to have trouble in China, weaker sales over there. Can't really make too much of an opinion on this, except for the last 4 days, Ford has been stuck between $12.77 and $13. Really only trading in a little over a 20-cent range over the last couple days. You probably have some huge institutional sellers here at the $13 level. Still hanging up near there, so use that as resistance until it busts through there. Coming back on the downside here, this 12.77 to 80 has been major support on the downside. So if it takes that out, we could be heading back down to the 12.60 level. Few stocks out with earnings this morning. Dick's Sporting Goods. did not have the greatest quarter here. They missed by 3 cents, 103 versus 106. Slight miss on the revenue as well. This stock, which was having a nice run here, is now getting taken to the woodshed here in the pre-market. We did spike down to 46.11, starting to get a small recovery here. $47 should be minor resistance, and then you get into the old gap area. Looking at the chart here for the stock, it did have a low on Friday at 48.68. So we're still $2 away from that. Blew through the $48 level. The only thing we can find that coincides with the pre-market activity is the 46.29 low on February 4th. So shorts, if you're looking to take a level in there, 46.29 was the low there. Then you also had a low at 46.30 on January 14th and another low at 46.34 on January 10th. So you are finding some good support here in the low 46s in Dick's Sporting Goods. One company that's due to announce later on today, Urban Outfitters here. The only reason I'm bringing this up is because you know how these retailer moves when the earnings comes out, either good or bad. If you're looking to pair your position ahead of the earnings report today, the recent high of the move has been 41.78, and then huge resistance here at the $42 level, multiple highs below 42. So if you're looking to exit, that could be an area. Coming back on the downside, we've had pretty good support, double bottom at 40.32 to 40.40. So if you're looking to pair your position in Urban, there's a couple parameters for you. One other stock that's due to report today, if you're a banana lover, Chiquita Brands is due to report, running into resistance here at the $7 level. Moving into some of our upgrades and downgrades, Piper Jaffray hopping on the Best Buy bandwagon, raising their price target from $16 up to $20.66. This stock has just been on a tear since we announcing favorable earnings. Keep an eye on the 20.55 level here in BBY. We did have a spike high here at 20.55. I believe I saw it on the weeklies here. Yes, we did. We had a high at 20.55 in August of 2012. If you look at the pre-market activity, we did exceed that level by 11 cents to 20.66. So you have a couple good levels of resistance on the upside. Since hitting that 20.66 level, we peeled back to 20.40. And then if you're looking for a gap play here, yesterday's range we had to close at 20.17, so that should be good support. Also moving on to more upgrades and downgrades. Someone at Longbow really likes the storage device stocks. They're initiating EMC with a buy here. Not a lot of activity in the pre-market in EMC, but if you are an EMC trader, keep an eye on the 24.41 level. That was a double top from Thursday and Friday. You also had a high at 24.32, and that was the high on Wednesday. So if this upgrade in EMC from Longbow is going to have any effect, surely has to take out this 24.41 level. Stock in the same arena, initiating coverage. Seagate Technology finding major support here at the $32 level, multiple lows there. If the upgrade is really worth anything, we should take it back above the $33 level. Double top at 33.20 to 33.26. So got a big range here in the $32 handle. Also, Western Digital. This stock is not pulled back like the other ones. Not getting much of a move here in the pre-market. Let's keep an eye on Friday's low at 47.02 and major resistance here at the spike high we had last Wednesday at 49.58. That's all I have here, folks, for the stocks in the Big Ten, the S&P. just to give a quick recap of the S&P. Just kind of muddling here, only down a couple points, slow, steady rally. What I would like to see for us to continue this move on the upside is get back over that close at 1444.50 and challenge the high of the move at 1547.75. Thanks for listening to the show this morning, and we'll be back with you tomorrow.